Hi, to start today I want you to try these 5 questions on the left. So pause the video now, see if you can get the answers, and then play the video and I'm going to go through them. Alright, here goes. So we're trying to find 1/12 of 60. That means I can take 60, that's this like little bar here that represents 60, and I can split it into 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. The bar illustrates the idea of what is going on. We want to find this little red bit here. So how am I going to do it? Well, I need to do 60 divided by 12. It's the same thing. And then I either know this is 5, or I need to write my times table down for 12, 12, 24, 36, 48, 60. It's the 5th one. Okay, let's keep going. Next one, 9/10 of 60. This time I'm going to split it into 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This time I want 9 of them. So what do we do first? We find out what one of them is again. So we do 60 divided by 10, because we're splitting it into tenths, and that gives us 6. That's our 1/10. Okay, let's just maybe make a note. This is 1/10. So if I want 9/10, I need to then do 6 times by 9, because I've got 9 lots of them. And again, you can use your calculator if you want to for this, but try and do as much as you can without. We get 54. One way of doing this nicely in your head is to do 6 times 10 is 60, and then 6 times 9 is 1. It's a 6 less than that, so it's 60 minus 6. So if you, rather than counting up with your times tables, you can find one like that and then count back. Okay, so the answer is 54. 4/11 of 77. I'm going to move away from the bar model now, so I'm just going to do this a bit quicker, but I'm hoping that you're happy. So if I want to find 1/11, then that's going to be 77 divided by 11, which is 7. So 4/11 is going to be 4 times 7, which is 28. 7/9, 1/9 is going to be 72 divided by 9, and that is equal to 8. So 7/9 is going to be 7 times 8, which is 56. 11/12, this is the trickiest one. So 1/12 is going to be 12s into 1452. This is where we practice our short division again. So get your bus stop. You've got to practice this, because if you don't, if you just think I can't be bothered, well, it's going to come back and haunt you someday, maybe an exam, okay? Because I know you can use your calculator in real life, but it's a useful skill to be able to do. So we do 12s into 1 don't go, 12s into 14 go once, remainder 2. 12s into 25, or 12 times 2 is 24, so that's 2, remainder 1. 12s into 12 go 1, so we get 121. We then have to do, quite an awkward one, isn't it? We have to do 11 times 121. Okay, I'll go through how we can do this. I would do this, you know what, let's do it using, what shall I do? Okay, I'm going to use the grid method, I think. So I can split 121 into 100, 20, and 1. There's lots of ways you can multiply it, and then I've like split it into these different areas. And then I've got 11 along here, which I split into 10 and into 1. So now I just multiply these out separately. 10 times 100 is 1,000. 10 times 20 is 200. And 10 times 1 is 10. So I'm just going to write it up here. I've got 1,210. And then 1 times 100 is 100. 1 times 20 is 20. 1 times 1 is 1. So I've got 121. And then I could just add use my column addition, and I get 1331. Pretty cool number there. And that is it. That's how we can find 11/12. Okay, good. That is fractions of amounts, a little recap. Today we're going to look at reverse fractions of amounts. Reverse! What does that mean? Well, it means the following, okay? I might have found a fraction of an amount and have the final number. See how that's different to me finding a fraction of an amount. I've already found it. It's like me saying 11/12 of something is 1,331 and expecting you to be able to get back to that 1,452. Obviously, that's the most complicated one that we gave, but let's look at this one. If I said that 1/12 of a number was 5, what's the number? I would expect you to get back to 60. Why am I going to expect that? Well, I'm going to teach you a method for how it works. Okay, it's going to work in a very similar way. It's great. We're going to keep drawing these bars. So I've got 1/5 of x is 10. So this time, I'm going to draw my bar again and split it into 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5. But this time, this whole amount is x. And how many? I've got 1/5 here. And this is equal to 10. So how can I work out the full amount? Well, this time I've got one part is 10, and I've got 5 parts in total. So x is going to be my 1 part multiplied by 5. I get 50. I hope that makes sense from this diagram. I've got this 1 part, and then I just need another 4 of them, or I need 5 in total. That's why I times by 5. So our first answer is 50. Please make a note of this with the title of reverse fractions of amounts. Okay, that seemed all right. What about if we have 2/5 of x is 10? This is where we're going straight into it. We're going to step up. You can do it. I believe in you. Okay, this time we've got the whole amount is x, and I've got that 2/5 is 10. So how can I work out what the whole amount is? Well, we're going to need to do something with this 2. And my suggestion is to first find what 1/5 is. 1/5 is going to be, well, 2/5 is 10. But if I just want this one, I need to divide by 2 because I've got two parts here and I just want 1 part. I'll explain why I want 1 part in a minute. So 1/5 is going to be 10 divided by 2 is equal to 5. Okay, I've basically divided through by this top number to give me this red shaded bit here. Why have I done that? Because I've turned it back into the problem from part 1. I've now got that 1/5 of a number is 5. So this time I again want 5 of them. So I'm going to do, if I want 5/5, I know I didn't write that in the first time, but 5/5 is going to be 5 times 5, which is 25. Because I've got this 1/5, this 1 part by itself, I want 5 of them. So I need to multiply through by 5, and that is my answer, 25. Okay, let's keep going. It's going to be slowly getting a bit more complicated, but I'm hoping you're happy. Please ask questions if not. So this time, I've got 150 is 5/8 of a number. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, the full amount is, we don't know. I've just reworded it in a slightly different way this time. It's like 2/5 of x. This is the same kind of question. 150 is 5/8 of what number? We're going to call that number x. And this time I've got 5 of them. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And this is equal to 150. So again, I am going to work out what 1/8 is. How am I going to do that? Well, I've got 5/8, so I'm going to divide through by 5. It's going to be 150 divided by 5, and that is actually equal to 30. So I've got my 1 part, so 8/8 or x is then going to be this 1 part multiplied by 8. It's going to be 30 times 8 equals 240. Just going to, before we do the next two, when we did these questions here, we basically took the number, like 72, divided it by 9. Okay, that gave us 1 part, and then we times by 7 because we wanted these 7 parts. Look how it's a little bit different here because I've got, let's do the 5/8 one. Because I've got 5/8, what I actually end up doing is dividing by the top number. I'm doing the opposite of what I did before, and then timesing by 8. I hope that's not confusing. I think drawing the bars makes it make a lot more sense. Okay, finally, not finally, actually there's one after this, but 5/4 of x is 20. Right, this gets a little bit sneakier because 5/4, what is that? Well, 4/4 is this, and then it's like I've got another kind of bar, and in total, I've got 4, 5. This is sort of more of a challenge one, okay? So don't get stressed if this gets a little bit confusing, because we've got more than one here. I've got 5/4. So again, I'm going to work out what 1/4 is. 1/4 is going to be 20 divided by this top number. I just want what one of them is. It's going to be equal to 4. And then if I want the full amount, well, that is going to be 4/4. That's my x. And then that is going to be my 4 multiplied by another 4, because I've got 4/4. So in total, I'm going to get 16. Whew, okay, we're nearly there. In maths, sometimes you just get these very concise questions, I guess we say them as, with just like very to the point of what they want you to do. Sometimes we get wordy questions, like practical questions, and it wants you to take the maths out of it. And these are a bit trickier because you've got this extra step to take the maths out of it. But it's okay, we've just got to learn how to do that and practice it over time. So in a car park, 4/7 of the vehicle have a sunroof. If there are 60 vehicles with sunroofs, how many vehicles in total are there in the car park? So what can I do here? I know that 4/7 of the total number of vehicles, what shall I call this? I think I'm going to call it X because that's what we normally do. 4/7 of the total number of sunroofs have sunroofs, and that's 60 of them. So I've turned this wordy problem into the same problems we've just been dealing with. It's just an extra little step. Okay, I hope that makes sense. We can now deal with it in exactly the same kind of way. We can split this into 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then a 7th there. Okay, I've got 4/7. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm trying to find the full amount, which is x, and at the moment I've got 60. So again, let's find out what that was meant to be red. Let's find out what 1/7 is. 1/7 is going to be 60 divided by 4. Because I've got 4 of them and I just want one of them, I need to divide it. And that gives me 15. And now we're back where we were. We've got 1/7, so I want to find 7/7 or x, and that is going to be my 15 multiplied by 7 because I want all 7 of them. Whoops. And that is equal to 7 times 10 is 70, and 7 times 5 is 35. So we're going to get that there were 105 cars in total. Wow, what a topic. I really like this topic because we're dealing with fractions, but in the end we're just dealing with division and multiplication. As long as you sort of set your maths out carefully and you think about what you're doing, that's the most important thing. Just thinking, oh, what do I do? Do I times by this? Do I divide by this? No, get a diagram down to help you. And I really like the fact that this is like the opposite of what we've just done, but hopefully it will build understanding of your fractions, and your ability to solve these kind of questions. So have a go at some questions yourself. Well done. Let's keep going.